is happening, good people? How y'all doing today? Everybody feeling good?
Plus, plus, plus.
Some plus, plus, plus. I love to see it. Man, this is good. I see some celebrations. I see some what I don't even know what that thing is. What is that thing with the confetti that comes out? Yeah, I see the rockets. There we go. Bloop, bloop. Right? Yeah, yeah. Bloop, bloop. I love to see it, man. Hey, let's bring some energy into the room. Tell me something good. Tell me something good that's happening with you guys. Give me a couple quick blessings. What's happening this week that you guys are excited about? Let me hear it. Take yourself off mute.
Hello.
You're on mute.
Who's yours?
Here we go. Oh, you keep on talking and it goes back on mute, huh? Here we go. Well, I did it again.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Alessandra. I'm in San Antonio, and this week I'm going live on my fifth listing for the year from Cold Calling Expired.
Let's go.
And our team is going on the 9th or 10th. Ninth.
What's happening on the ninth?
Oh no, with our whole team, we're going for listing number 9 now.
Let's go.
So exciting.
From
So
expired, huh? Now, is that a new strategy that you guys are doing? Or are you guys always going after expired?
We're always going after expired. Last year, I think we listed about 32.
No, last year we listed 36 and she did 20 and I did 16 by accident just because I don't like actively call them, but I call them when we're doing the classes. And so we listed 16 that called back from the classes. But it is what we push on the team to train because low cost, high return.
Cold calling works. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Come on. Cold calling works, she said. Ooh, man, you just stepped on a few toes that's in this building right now. She said cold calling works. Most of y'all are like, I don't do cold calling. That's one thing I don't do. If I got to do cold calling, then it ain't. Hey, listen, what's for you is for you, but you see what's working for them. So love to see it, Art. Thanks for sharing. Alessandra, great job. Who else wants to jump in here with a blessing real quick? Come on. Bring the energy, y'all. Let's go. Just take yourself off mute. You don't have to have 5 listings. Okay, come on.
I have a new commercial listing that's coming out in downtown Winter Garden from a buyer that I received from Facebook. And I closed on the Facebook buyer closed last in December and reached out to me and needed to sell their other commercial property, but now they want to sublease their new property that they just purchased. So that's a lease plus another sublease of the side that they're on. So that's 2 leases and a commercial listing.
Woo!
From a Facebook lead.
From a Facebook lead. They said that, hold on, but they said that Facebook leads don't work though, El. I don't know how that.
But it was
like what?
It was organic though. It was referrals from other agents or other people in the Winter Garden area.
Okay. So you were putting out some content. I imagine they saw some of your content and then you started having some conversations with them. And then
yes, and they know that pretty much I'm a nurse practitioner as well, so it kind of helped.
Yeah. So this is from the medical side of the industry. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. That's fire. That's fire. And you sell residential as well as commercial, so you do both. You ain't scared.
I'm scared. I got a residential referral to South Carolina that's closing on Thursday. It's a 30% referral at 1.2 million that I put the seller who is buying up there under contract. That's going to be closing on March 9th for over $1 million.
Let's go.
That's mailbox money.
Yes. Resi Marshall. That's right. Resi Marshall girl. Listen, if y'all think, man, if someone here's something, we're going to talk a little bit about this today, but some of us just have this limited mindset of what's possible. You know, I've come to believe that, man, like, you know, if you don't put yourself out there, if you're not having these conversations and letting people know what you do, what you're willing to do, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. And let's be honest, how many of you all can be honest? Put your hands up, throw some yes in the chats. if you've had months where like sometimes it's working and sometimes it's not. How many of you all have ever been on that real estate roller coaster where it's like you're up and then you're down and you don't know where that next deal is coming from, and then things start picking up and then you're up and up. Oh, I'm there, and then it just starts coming back down. And you're like, yo, like what is going on? Like I'm putting so much time and energy into this business, but I don't feel like the business is paying me back. And I'm here to tell you today that you may be doing everything that you're supposed to be doing in the right order. Some of us are so focused on the hustle, this hustle mentality. I just got to do more, right? As long as I'm busy, then I'm going to make a lot of money in this business. And so I'm busy doing a whole bunch of stuff that I probably don't need to be doing. I'm busy, but I'm not productive. You see the difference? What's the difference between being busy and being productive? Who can tell me? Open up your mics. Who can tell me the difference between being busy and being productive? As you see, we're having a conversation today. Who can tell me?
The productive actions actually lead to income.
Yeah,
there's negotiating offers, stuff like that.
There's income producing activities, right? Revenue generating activities. And then there's busy work. So what's an example of busy work? Well, today we're going to talk a little bit about content, but sometimes, I talk to agents and they're like, oh yeah, I shot some content and, but so, I'm really excited about this content. I'm like, oh really? So when's it coming out? And they're like, well, I've spent like 3 hours yesterday, just like, like editing it and getting my captions right. And it's going to come out and I got these plans. Like you spent 3 hours on the editing yesterday? Like during the time you could have been doing like some other stuff? Oh yeah, no, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna come out really, really good. And some of us, let's be honest, some of us are spending way too much time doing the things that actually don't create the revenue. Now, I'm not saying that the content can't generate revenue, but should you be spending that much time editing? Who can be honest with me? Put your hands up in the chat. If you've captured content on your phone, whether it's a video, photos, and you still haven't ever posted it. Like it's still in your phone from 2-3 years ago. You had all these plans. You came into 2026 with all these like content plans of what you're going to do. And it's still sitting there. Narda's laughing because Narda knows, right? This is a real thing. And listen, and Narda is somebody who has like an amazing content strategy. But even the people who have a great content strategy, sometimes we're just shooting a whole bunch of stuff and we're going to get these content. And so we show up and sometimes we show up in places that we really shouldn't necessarily be. Like we should probably be spending our time doing something else. But we show up because we say, well, I'm going to go and I'm going to grab some content. And then the content never actually comes out. So we're going to talk a little bit about today. I want to talk about putting your business on autopilot. We only have an hour together, but man, I want to make this the best as possible. And I saw somebody already saying in the chat, like, yo, I needed to hear those wins. The people who just shared those testimonies of wins, 5 listings already this year. Somebody's already crushing 2 commercial deals plus a residential deal and sending referrals, a $1.3 million referral. If you guys don't know, if you haven't done the math already, because I do quick math, I like to do quick math. So on a $1 million sale at 3%, how much is that? It's 30 grand. And if she sent it out at a 30% referral, that's $9,000. That's $9,000 that she's going to make by simply being a resource. So guess what? She's a resource to whoever that client is that needed the assistance of an agent. And she's also being a valuable partner to the agent that she sent the referral to. You better believe that the agent who's receiving that referral, how many of you guys want to get a $1.2 million referral incoming, looking for you and saying, hey, can you handle this? How many of y'all can handle a $1.2 million referral? Let me say yes in the chat. Let me see some yeses in the chat. I don't see anything. Right now, I don't see anything. Narda said, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, okay, come on, right? You got to speak it, man. Let people know I'm here. Y'all too quiet for me. I love it, right? So here's the thing. I'm going to break this down into 3 different categories. of how to put your business on autopilot. Some of you are already doing a great job at maybe one or two of these things. I really don't know. I don't know very many agents who are doing a great job at all of these things. And so I think there is a way to do them all. I know that there's a way to do them all, but I want you to kind of self-select on where you're doing well in these categories and what you think could probably be better. And so I'm gonna, if you take notes, I think this will serve you even better. And then I'm gonna open it up for some questions once we're done. Okay. So I'm gonna leave some room for some Q&A. But there's three categories of business of our business that you really have to nail in order to excel at a really high level in real estate. All right, three that I've nailed down, and I'd say the first thing that you need to nail is conversations. Conversations. You have to have more conversations in this business. If you're not, we say real estate is a contact sport. The more people you come in contact with, the better your business is going to be. But it's not just coming in contact with them. This is actually having conversations that actually move the needle. What am I talking about? If you're not having conversations about real estate each day with new people, your business is going to keep you on that real estate roller coaster. Who can be honest and say that you had a real estate conversation yesterday? Let me see some ones in the chat. Put one in the chat if you had a real estate conversation with somebody yesterday. Okay, I see a couple ones. It's not as many as that are on this phone call right now. Now, some of you guys, somebody said I had 5 conversations about real estate yesterday. Let me guess, you had an open house. You did an open house, didn't you? I know. No.
Hi, I'm
How'd you do it?
interjecting. I'm just
Go
very
ahead.
proud of yesterday. So I went to show a rental, and then the neighbor came out and said, "Hey, are you listing this lease?" I said, "No, I'm representing the tenants." He came and said, "I want to possibly sell my home." And so I went inside and we had a impromptu listing appointment. His parents were there and said, "Well, if you're moving, we're going to move because we're going to stay with our grandchildren." So today I'm going to send out 2 listing agreements and 2 buyer rep agreements. So that, yeah, that was good. And then at my son's soccer game later in the afternoon, I potentially have another listing once their tenant leaves that home. So it was all real estate talk yesterday.
All right. So how did that happen though? So you're having a conversation with somebody, but this was at your son's soccer game, you said?
Yes, it was with another soccer parent, and we're
Okay.
discussing. I
But you guys are
mentioned
supposed to be talking about soccer. How in the heck did you start talking about real estate? You don't talk about real estate at a soccer game.
I got there a little late because of the impromptu listing appointment. And so we just started talking. I asked how the score was, and I'm like, "Oh, darn, I'm so mad I missed the first 2." And they were explaining. I'm like, "Well, it'll be worth it. I'm going to buy him some new soccer equipment here pretty soon." And they're like, "Oh," and so that led to the conversation. Why? Well, it did to this. And then they said, "Well, Giovanni, maybe we need to discuss as well. Our tenant moves out at the end of April. We were talking about our investment portfolio, what we can do, this and that." And we talked about recasting, and I was their expert. I was their expert on the field. So yes.
I love it. I was their expert on the field, right? Put me on the field, coach. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. So conversations, if you're not having conversations about real estate every day, you're already behind the ball. That's a non-negotiable. And so does the conversation have to start with real estate? No. Actually, in most cases, it's not going to start with real estate. So here's what I tell agents all the time. You have to learn how to turn conversations into real estate conversations. You have to learn how to turn real estate into real estate, or you have to learn how to turn conversations into real estate conversations. So, like, nobody, this is even whether you're talking about recruiting agents or you're talking about bringing on clients who want to buy or sell a house. Like people don't, nobody just hires an agent just because, not because of like a logo or the name that they're on. They actually move because of conversations. It is so important to understand that like most agents actually avoid having conversations. You guys may have been there before. Like there's times where you're like, man, some of you say, well, I don't like cold calling. Okay, well, maybe it's not cold calling. But have you ever been somewhere, maybe at a soccer game, maybe at a child's birthday party? This is a great reason to have kids, by the way, just so you can like be at the little birthday parties and be around all the parents, right? Parents know what I'm talking about, right? And you're just like, you know what? I just want to be in the room because if I'm in the room, I'm going to have some conversations, and I'm going to talk about real estate with somebody in that room. They're about to have this conversation with me. So, but many times people will avoid that. Maybe you tell yourself that you're an introvert. I'm an introvert, so I don't really like to go out of my way and have these conversations or talk to people I don't know. It just kind of makes me uncomfortable. We're beyond that now. In 2026, we have to get beyond that. And so instead of asking yourself, how do I get more deals? The better question to ask is, how do I start more conversations? And so I'm going to give you some tactical, practical steps that you guys can do on a day-to-day basis. Again, some of you are already doing this. Great job. Keep doing it. But here's the truth. Most of us aren't doing this. Most of us aren't thinking about how to turn conversations into real estate conversations every single day. So I wrote down a couple things. One, start 3 to 5 new real estate conversations every day. It's not spam. We're not talking about some scripted email blasted out to 100 people in your database and hoping that starts a conversation. I'm talking about like being real and being curious. And it's what's your biggest challenge lately? What's your goal for this year? I mean, can you believe we're already in March? Can we believe? Yeah, right. We're in February, but we're almost in March already. We're already past Q1. This year is flying by. And what are they going to say? Tell me about it. Oh my gosh. We're already planning spring break. I know. That's so crazy. Did you have any like big plans, like New Year's resolutions that you're still on or kind of teetering on, or maybe you've already fallen off? Did you have any big plans for this year? You know? And they're like, oh yeah, we were thinking about, I've been on this weight loss kick, or I've been, trying to work out more, or they might say, we were planning on, like, I told my husband, we're not going to rent anymore. At some point we're going to buy a house, and so we're hoping to like kind of save up some money and buy a house, and man, that conversation might happen organically. But guess what? If it doesn't, there's many ways that you can actually create that real estate conversation and turn it into a real estate conversation. So how long have you guys lived in the area? Oh, we've lived here we've been here all my life. When I was a kid, I was raised around the corner, blah, blah, blah. Okay, good. And do you live in the area now? Yeah, we're still here. Oh, where are you? Okay, oh, I'm over there. Yeah, that's not far from me. Do you guys do you own your house, or do you rent your house? Oh, we're renting, right? Oh, really? Okay. And do you have any plans to own, since you love the neighborhood? Like, where are you guys thinking about buying? Well, we'd like to buy, but right now now we're talking problems. And I have solutions for real estate problems. Now they may say, well, I own, we own our house, and gosh, we've been here for like 11 years. Who can tell me the average, at least in Orlando, I can say this, but in other markets is different. In your market, what's the average time that someone lives in their house in the
5
market
years.
that you're in? Could you guys, 5 years, 5 to 7 years? Okay, Alessandra said 5 to 7 years. Okay. In Orlando, we're seeing somewhere between like 7 to 10 years. It's a little bit longer after COVID. After that pandemic, we've seen it actually stretch out a little bit. So as soon as I hear somebody say that, oh yeah, we've been there for, 9, 10 years. We've been there for 11 years. What should I be thinking? Probably starting to think about another house. And probably starting to think about how old their house is. But guess what? What's old to them is going to be new to somebody else. That's what resales are all about. So can we help them to find the new one? Or if I could find a buyer that would want to buy your home. Would you guys be ready to move? That's a great question. Oh, you thinking about buying a house? No, don't ask them if they're thinking about buying a house. If I had a buyer who wanted to buy your house that you're in right now, would you guys be in a position to move? Well, we'd have to find something. These interest rates, right? But again, I'm just trying to teach you guys how to open up these conversations. So here's the conversation framework. Excuse me. Number one, identify the pain. All right, identify the pain. Oh, well, the house is getting old, or we've been here too long, or the kids are growing up, or the kids are off in college, whatever the thing is. Number two, share your story. Identify with them. Share your story so that it resonates with them, because people like to do business with people, not just businesses. So share your story. Become human. Be more human more often. Number three, offer a tool or perspective. They may say, well, I don't know how much my house would sell for. I said, well, if I could send you like a monthly market report that just shows you how much your house is worth, because sometimes it's going to fluctuate. It might go up a little bit, might go down a little bit, but at least you'll be able to see what's going on with your house and the surrounding houses in your area. Would that be helpful? That's one of my favorite questions. Would that be helpful? Who's going to say no to that? Right? Yeah, that'd be free. Yeah, it's free. I wrote down invite, don't pitch. Don't make this feel salesy. Don't make this feel like you do this routinely every day with someone else, right? This is you talking to another human being who has their own family, and every single day they sit down at that dinner table and they're thinking about their bills, and they're thinking about the school schedules, and they're thinking about all the things. And you're approaching them as a human being, trying to figure out what their goals are and how you can help them to get there. Right? And then lastly, I say let culture and math speak, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So this is not about pressure. You're not pitching someone. You're having conversations. You're having conversations. So how do you back up these conversations? It's with my second C. The second C is content. Content. Man, content is king. But I would say, you've probably heard that content is king, but I would actually say relevant content is king. This isn't just about how great you are. So many times we see agents who are like, oh, I got the #1 agent award in my office. And, you're constantly showing, and you see like people showing the trophies and all this stuff. And I'm the #3 agent in my state. And oh my gosh, that's so amazing, right? Oh, you're so amazing. But when you see agents posting that stuff about their accolades, I'm not saying don't post your accolades, but you know what I'm talking about. You have seen enough content where you're like, hey, all the time, like, all right, you got another award, great job. Who are they typically posting that for? Is that to gain another client? Who is that for? For agents. Oh, well, Desmond said it's for themselves. Yes, it's for themselves, but they're talking to other agents. Like, only agents actually care, like, who's the top agent in the area, and who just won that award. Content is supposed to create permission for the conversation to continue. Think about it. Yeah, Alex said ego. Absolutely, Alex. So here's the thing. When you're having conversations, let's say, let's just think about it. I'm having a conversation with the lady at Publix who was in front of me at Publix, and I noticed that we happen to eat the same crackers. I don't know, wheat thins, whatever. Right. And I'm like, oh, I love that. My kids love those things. Have you tried those yet? Oh yeah, I get them all the time. Oh my gosh, right there. Right. And then we start the conversation. Oh my gosh, do you guys, what school do your kids go to? Are they local? Like, are you guys here? Oh yeah, we live right around the corner. Right. So that's how I start. Like, you see, I find it and that's how I start having these real estate conversations. So, okay, cool. Now we're headed into this real estate conversation. And let's just say they have interest in what I'm offering. Maybe I'm offering that, that monthly market report. Great. All right. So now what? Now what? Well, if we follow each other, I say, well, I'll tell you what, here's my contact information. I could just give my card, and that's the end of the day. A lot of agents make that mistake. We just hand out business cards like it's an old lady giving out hard candy to little kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just hand out your business card and then they just walk away, and you have no way of contacting them. You don't know what they're contacting, and they may never, most of the time, they're never going to reach you. They're never going to call you. And so, but if you do connect with them, you say, oh, you can follow me. Are you on Instagram? Great. Here, I'll tell you what, let's follow each other on Instagram. Boom. So now we're following each other on Instagram. Well, if I ask her to follow me on Instagram and I give her my Instagram account, but there's nothing there, then what good does that do them? Like if I have an Instagram account, but if I don't post content, what's the point? So the content that you create and post, not just create, but that you post, should create permission for the conversations to happen. All right. So now here, this is where agents get stuck because they think about their content just going viral. Like they're like, how can I create content that just makes everybody in the world want to watch it and share it and like it and da 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 da. And they get down on themselves if they don't have the views, if they don't have the comments, the engagement. But it's not about going viral. This is about positioning. Your content should position you as an authority in real estate. If you enjoy working with new construction home buyers, then guess what your content should be about? New construction home buyers. If Alessandra and her team is fantastic with expired listings, helping people sell their home that didn't get their home sold the first time, that's what her content should be about, shouldn't it? Like she could be like, oh, another one just sold. Oh, I'm so happy homeowners, right? Okay, cool. So that's the win. And we should see some of that. You're actually getting it done. But how do we know what problem you're solving if you're not talking about that? The closing and the money that you make, that's the lagging indicator. You guys understand leading and lagging indicators, right? Like lagging indicators are I made a lot of money. I closed this deal. Happy homeowners, happy home sellers, whatever, buyers, whatever. Right? Cool. That's the lagging in it. That's the stuff that happened as a result of what we were doing. So the question is, what were we doing and who are we trying to help? So your content is here's the people that I helped. Here's the most recent couple that I helped. Here's the situation that they were facing. You know, what some of my most engaging content is typically about a story of, you know, the story of the people that I helped. I'll never forget there was a listing that I got. It was actually a referral, it was an inbound referral to me. And they said, hey, could you help this guy sell his house? It's his parents' house, but his parents were older and both of them passed away right after like the pandemic. And unfortunately, this guy is on the spectrum. And so he did not, he had a job and he was able to work. He had a like a job at like Publix or something, you know, grocery store. So he was able to work. Um, but he was in this house that he was raised in by himself, and he couldn't maintain this. It's like a 2,500 square foot house. He couldn't maintain this house by himself. He didn't know, you know, what bills were coming in and all this kind of stuff. And so, so his aunts were helping him. They lived in Texas. His aunts lived in Texas. He's here in Florida, and so it wasn't me just dealing with him, but it was of course dealing with his aunts. One of them was in Texas, the other one's in Vegas, and so I needed to have all three of them on a conference call in order to get decisions made, right? Because everybody had an opinion. And ultimately, you know, I had the whole system set up and we got in there, shot the photos, did the thing, and it ended up well. We sold the house with multiple offers, did open houses and everything. And his aunts were extremely, like to this day, I've still never met them. His aunts were extremely appreciative of how much we were able to sell the house for, how quickly we did it, how the communication that we used, you know, our methods of communication throughout and keeping them updated along the way, even though they were in, you know, across the country. And that is the story that I shared when we closed. It wasn't another home sold by the Mike Collier group. It was, man, this one was special. Let me tell you why. Does that make sense to you guys? Right? The content should actually tell a story about the human beings that we're helping. It should be more than, I feel like it should be more than just one sentence. That's where the people who are following your content, that's where that person that you met in happenstance, and you started talking real estate and you guys started following each other on social, maybe they're just following you on social and they start seeing your content, that's where they start seeing themselves in the shoes of the people that you're helping. So you got to tell the story. So Art, I hope your team is telling stories along the way, man. And I think we can always do a better job of telling stories. We know these things. And sometimes, like I said, many times we're doing these things very well. But if we're honest, we could do a better job of it. And so there's three types of content that you should rotate if you're thinking about content, guys. Personal stories, your wins, your struggles, your family, your faith, your journey. Why? Because I said it earlier, people like to do business with people. People are doing business with you, the person, not necessarily just you, the realtor. If you have a real estate channel, whether that is, social media or whatever, and the only thing that you're posting is about real estate, then you've become like Zillow. Zillow doesn't post anything personal. Why? Because there's no person back there. He said, can I say that again? Yeah, I'll repeat those. Your personal story, right, should include your wins, your struggles, your family, your faith, if you subscribe to a faith, and your journey. That's the stuff that builds trust. That's why I was saying, like, just posting the wins isn't the whole story. Then you get people who are always depressed and they're always posting their losses. That's another thing. That's a whole different story. But you have to have, I teach this in our social media boot camp. If you guys don't know the Global Alliance, we have this 3-day boot camp that we do out of our office in Orlando, and it's fantastic. And I teach the social media portion of our boot camp. And one of the things that I'm always teaching them is about, like, you can't just post real estate stuff. It has to be the whole you, not just a portion of you that you want to share. Share some of your struggles, right? That's okay. It's okay because it's going to make you more human. It's going to make people want to do business with you because people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And just because they know you're a realtor doesn't mean they know you. Just because you do a lot of business and close a lot of deals doesn't necessarily mean they like you, doesn't mean that they trust you. How do you gain someone's trust? When we were friends or when we were kids, we used to meet other kids, and we couldn't wait to, like, talk to them. And what would we do? We'd play with them, we'd interact with them and ask them questions, and they'd ask us questions. And as adults, we kind of stopped doing that. We have this veil that we keep up, and we get away from the stories. We got to get back to that. Human interactions, absolutely not. The second thing that your content should be about is value or teaching. What are you learning? Like, what are you learning? How are you? I was at a Tom Ferry event 3 days ago, whatever, this past weekend, right? And it was phenomenal. It was actually my first Tom Ferry event, so it was really cool. And it was like 400 agents in there. And what content do you think I was posting? I wasn't, like, just retweeting or posting whatever he said and, like, using it as my words. I was actually sharing that I was there, right? Like, I was there learning how to be better for my clients. A lot of us want to act like we have it all together. No, your clients actually want to see that you're learning how to be better for them. So what are you learning? What about what's working? Talk about what's working in your market, in your niche. What mistakes are you seeing that agents make? That's a good one. That's a sneaky one, actually, right? Many agents make this mistake. Here's how you avoid that mistake. It means that you already have the answer. They don't want to make a mistake. Somebody who wants to sell their house doesn't want to do business with somebody else who's going to make that mistake. You already said that you know the answer to that mistake. So here we are. Might as well skip the line and hire you, right? What leverage tools are helping you? Are you using ChatGPT? Are you using AI tools? Are you learning AI? Are you having a hard time even wrapping your mind around this whole AI thing? That's one of the struggles that you should probably be talking about, because guess what? There's a lot of people who feel the exact same way you do, right? That builds credibility. That's where you want to be. All right. Number 3, invitation. or your culture, right? Inviting them to something. You know, you can do clips from your Zoom calls, behind the scenes moments. Those are always fun. People love BTS. You know, those behind the scenes moments. Um, all of that kind of builds curiosity in like what it is that you are doing, what you're up to. People get invested in your success. I follow a few agents who are friends of mine, and like they post long form content, like, you know, where it's just a whole bunch of sentences. I'm primarily on Facebook, y'all. I know I got gray hair, right? So I'm on Facebook, and that's where most of my clients are. So that's where I stay. You know, the people who are looking for me, are many of them, especially in the area that I live in, many of them on Facebook, right? And so they'll post like, yeah, Narda said that. Yeah, Facebook is where the money is, right? So you have all of these, like, you know, these long content pieces, and I read them, and many of them are really good. And they're talking about their wins. They're talking about their success, their struggles. They're talking about their family. They do, and if you follow me, you see that I do a lot of the same. And people read them. People get invested in your story if you bring them along for the ride, if you bring them along on your journey. The problem is many of us want to show up and just show the wins. And that's like giving somebody a book and there's like 2 pages. You open it up and it says, they won. And the next one says, the end. Where's the good stuff? Where's the character building? Where's the climax? Where's the tension when they overcame the obstacles? They overcame the odds. People want to see that in your story too. Question is, are you sharing it? So here's the key. Your content should start the conversation for you. And when you post the right way, people will start DMing you. A lot of times you talk to agents about content. Where you want to get your business from? Oh, I want to get my business from content. I want to post social media so I can get more clients. Depends on what you're posting. All right. Last thing I want to say, and because I want to open this up for Q&A, is community. See, community is the conversation engine. Community, when you're creating, so you're having these conversations and you're posting the right kind of content, people start getting invested in your story. Guess what? Those people who are invested in your story become your people. That's your community. And so now you can have a friends and family appreciation event. It doesn't have to be a client appreciation event, because sometimes you might, if you're wise on how you do this, you should be inviting people who are not yet your clients. Have you ever thought about that? Why only have a client appreciation event and not invite people who should be your clients? All those people that you've talked to, all those people at the open houses that you've been meeting, the ladies, the people that you meet at the soccer games. Why wouldn't we invite them to a client appreciation event? Oh, because we haven't made any money off of them yet. So, okay, I'm going to only spend money on the people that I'm going to make money with, or that I already made money with. Then you're like, oh, well, I do like Santa Claus, around Christmas, and, Santa for the kids and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but are you reaching out to those people that were on that open house list? Are you reaching out to the people? Are you even what about this? Have you let the people, the agents who have ever referred you a deal, have you ever reached out to an agent who sent you a deal as a referral and said, hey, I got this thing going up. So if you have anybody who's thinking about moving in the area, who are they going to be in the area, if they're going to be in the area, let them know. Let them know that they can come to my event. Would love to have them. You just never know, man. Because guess what? That also keeps you top of mind with that other agent. Sometimes, most of the time, we get those referrals and we're like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Right? I closed it, get it, sent you your check. Send me another one. Pleasure doing business with you. Why not make them part of your community? Why not have an agent referral community where you pour into the agents who have referred deals to you? And then you create content letting people know that you have this community, letting other agents know that you have this community, so that if they want to refer deals to you, make it easy for them. They should join your community too. We think too short-sighted sometimes. I wrote this down. Community gives people belonging. It gives people some accountability, access, exposure, and it gives you leadership proximity. You know, why not invite someone who can also pour into them? Your vendors should be there and helping you to take care of these things. And now you're able to allow people to feel seen. You know, that is so important. We live in a time right now where things are just moving fast and people just don't feel seen. I was just watching or I was reading there's a NFL player, young guy, 26 years old. Um, you know, he just unalived himself this past weekend because he was playing, he got hurt both of his knees, and couldn't play anymore. And he built his whole life around playing. And it was so, I mean, obviously, the game was so important to him. That's where his identity was. That's where his purpose lied. That's where he felt his purpose was. And when he could no longer play, he no longer felt like he had purpose. And so, yeah, it is sad. I agree, Rebecca. And I think that I believe that our purpose is much bigger than real estate. This is why I'm talking about being more human. Inviting people to conversation. I'm teaching my kids this. My kids are 7 and 11 years old. My son is 7, my daughter is 11. And I make sure that they see me striking up conversations with perfect strangers all the time. Last night we played a game, this card game that I bought, and it's called Children Are Human Too, or something like that, right? Maybe you guys have seen that. They hit me up on Instagram. It was this ad, and I ended up buying it, right? But it's good, and it makes us have these thought-provoking questions and dialogue. And it said, "What is something that you do? What is something that's kind that you do for others, and how does it make you feel?" Right now, I'm having this conversation with my 7 and 11-year-old and my wife, right? And you know, they're like, well, my daughter was like, you know, when like at school, if somebody's looking for a chair to sit down, like I like to let them know that there's a seat next to me, and then I'll, you know, and invite them to sit down. I'm like, I like that. You know, my son was like, when I open the door for people, like, good job, you know. And when it came to me, I said, you know, one of the things that I know that I do that is kind but makes me feel good as well is having conversations with perfect strangers. Right? There are people who live alone in this world, who feel alone in this world. Even if they don't live alone, they feel alone in this world. It's our job. There's 1.3 million realtors in, or was it like in the country, right? And like, we're supposed to be the ones having conversations. If anybody's going to be more human, these are, you know, most realtors are former teachers. You know, they are former bankers. They're whatever. Like most of us didn't get a degree in real estate. We ended up getting our license in real estate, but we were completely different people with different ideas and goals prior to coming into real estate. Most of us, at least. And so, who better to go out and have these conversations and make people feel seen, feel heard, feel loved? Because I think there's not enough of us doing that right now, and it's creating this darkness that doesn't belong. Our job is to shine the light and be the light in people's darkness. And you know, real estate is a powerful platform. No matter what corners of the earth we're talking about, people are always talking, regardless of what's going on in the world, people are always going to be talking about real estate. Is it going up? Is it going down? High interest rates, prices, whatever. So how can you pierce the noise? Have conversations, real conversations, and be human more often. All right, more human, more often. And then create content that shares how human you are and the problems that you're helping to solve. And then create community around that and invite people into your community, not because you made money off of them, because you want them to feel seen. You want them to feel heard. And you want them to be a part of your community. And then real estate will happen. You will undoubtedly close more deals if you do that. So here's how the flywheel works. You create content, right? Because you have to already be creating the content. You don't have the conversation, then create content. Start creating the content now. Don't worry about how well polished it is. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to hire an editor. You can be your own editor, but just don't spend like 3 hours. Just get it up. Like just put it out there, right? Start creating the content, shoot it, and then post it. And then start conversations. And then those conversations, point those conversations, the people that you're having conversations with, point them to your content. And then as they start to engage in your content, with your content, then you can start inviting them into your community. Community creates the stories. You get more stories from the community because you're starting to having more conversations. You see how that works? You're having the conversations, you're creating the content creates more conversations, you put them into your community, which creates more conversations. And now you are starting this thing that you can't stop even if you wanted to. That's where the momentum comes. So you don't need more hustle, you don't need more hours, you don't need more platforms, you don't need more of the stuff. What you need is better conversations, more content, and inviting to your community. And that's how you run your business on autopilot. Does it take work? See, a lot of people think autopilot just means that, oh, you have to build my business on autopilot. That means I don't have to work. I can just press the button. Doop. I like to use the analogy of the plane. Does anybody know how autopilot works on a plane? Autopilot only works when what? They've reached the right altitude, right? But who lands the plane? Who actually takes off? The pilot. The pilot does the work to get the plane off of the tarmac into the air, navigating it up to the level that it's supposed to be at. The pilot does the work to get it to the levels. And then once it gets there, it's able to hit autopilot and it flies you to Hawaii without them having to do much of anything. But then when it's time to land the plane, they take the manual controls back over and they actually land the plane. This is what your business is like. You can have systems in place that are allowing you to simply do what it is that you do so that it feels like it's on autopilot, but it's because you've already done the work, created the content, you're intentional about the conversation that you're having, and you've already created the community. Now it's just a matter of inviting people and having more of those conversations in that community. Does that make sense to everybody? Right? That's the 3C flywheel that I created. It's just very simple. Conversations, content, and community. So I want to open it up for questions before we jump off. Anybody have any questions that you want to share?
Hey, Michael, this was just so good. So good. And I'm just curious also, like in the chat, if everyone can share just a key action item that you took from this call today that you know that you can take action on. And I think there's a lot here that all of us can take action on. I mean, daily conversations. We should be doing that anyways, right? And creating content. And like when you mentioned how many people have content here in the phone that has not seen the light of day?
Never
and
posted.
I gotta say, I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else is. And I post a lot. I've just slowed down in the recent months because I know that I need to have that next level for me is having someone else that can help create these reels that overwhelms me like you have no idea. I don't do it because I know I'd spend all day all week trying to make one reel, and that's not the highest and best use of my time. So we have to create systems around that to make it easier. So I don't know if anyone else has that guilty admission. That's me.
But you know what? It's real though. And you know what? And that's content. That alone is content. Guys, you know, the video is, I can't tell you how many times I've shot the video and created the caption, ready to put it out so that I can help educate and inform you guys on how to sell your house without right? And I have so much content and I am going to release the content, but sometimes I just get in my own way. So I'm shooting this video to let you know that this is something that I struggle with, but at the end of the day, I just want to be of assistance to you. And so if there's anything that you need, any questions that you do have, let me know and I can create more content to help you with those questions. But until then, I'll finish polishing off these and I'm actually going to post them. Right? Like just be fun. Just let people know that you're struggling with it too. And people are like, oh my gosh, I do the same thing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Narda asked a question. She said, "How do you use social media with your network? You're really good at it. Do you focus on one main platform or are you active everywhere? And then in terms of what works best for you, stories, reels, data. Okay, so yeah, we'll start with that. I do primarily focus on Facebook, but it's not it's not like the only thing that I do because it's primarily Facebook and Instagram. Now my team, I have a digital team, so I have like 3 virtual assistants who help me with like posting my stuff and actually getting it. That's one of the ways I got out of this. That's a whole different conversation. Leverage. We don't use enough leverage. One of the smartest ways to use leverage is actually hire somebody to do the things that you know that you won't do because you keep on getting in your own way. Like you'll shoot the content, but you won't actually post it because it's not edited. Well, guess what? You need to hire a friggin' editor and have somebody post it for you. Get out of your own way. And so that's one of the things I did. I got out of my own way. But yeah, I do that. And then I post in my stories. Most of the time, what you're gonna see in my stories is content that's more like not real estate related, but you're gonna see like when I'm out somewhere, obviously when I'm doing my open houses, because not everything deserves like a full like place on your feed. So you don't necessarily raise my own hand. So you don't have to actually put that in your news feed. You might post one thing in your news feed around your open house or 2 things around your open house, but then you're going to flood your stories with that stuff because that's where most people are. Many people are actually watching through your stories versus actually reading in your feed. But the people who really rock with you, like your community, they're going to watch your stories, but they're also going to read your feed. So one kind of feeds the other. Let's see, Mark. Does that help, Nara? Yeah, thank you. Content story for everyone that's closed. How do we fix the problem? Think HGTV. Yeah, exactly. Somebody says is Cabo still on? Cabo is still happening. Flying out on
Cabo is
Sunday. Yep.
still happening. Yes. So I
right.
did get word on that just to put everyone at ease. They are currently monitoring the situation out of Mexico, and it is safe to travel to Cabo San Lucas as of yet. And it has not been affected by violence, and the unrest is not the same in that area. So the U.S. Department of State Travel Advisory has the same advisory for traveling out of UK, France, Spain, etc. So they'll be monitoring it. If there are any changes, they'll let us know. So we'll just kind of have to keep monitoring this one. But as of yet, it's still a go, and we're going to be there.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be there. And Rebecca and I will be on stage, so we want to be looking out at your beautiful faces when we're there. So
absolutely. And I'd like to invite, if it's okay, we've got just another couple of minutes before we wrap up, Gino Morales to be spotlighted. We'd love to invite you all to the next event. So if you've already booked for Cabo, we're excited to see you there. And if you're saying, I can't make Cabo, or, keep me informed of all the events happening. This next event is an exciting one. We had it last year, so it's coming back again. A lot of people excited about this event, which is Build
at Sea 2026. Let me tell you, I'm always pumped up and energetic about this. And if you can't make it to Cabo, it's okay. Make it to Build at Sea. This is an event that you do not want to miss. I mean, we get to vacation, we get to build our businesses, build our legacies, but we get to have fun while doing so. And you can bring your family, but I have something special for only you guys here at the Global Alliance. We haven't really announced anything on social media yet, because we want you guys to be the first ones to know about this, okay? So, I need someone to enable screen sharing here, just so I can share this with you guys. But registration is officially open, okay? And we need you guys, if you are looking to take advantage of early bird special, $200 off. This is an amazing opportunity for you guys to take action. If you don't need to book your cabins right away. Of course, we want to make sure that you guys lock in your cabins. But if you just want to take care of the Build at Sea, just the event portion, take care of that, right? Take advantage of that, and then you can later on build. You can coordinate with our cruise coordinator and Anna, which is amazing. She's going to help you, package and do all the different add-ons for your cruise and make the experience even better. But you can always take care of that later, right? So we want you guys to take action, book your event tickets, take action right now. BuildAtSea.com. We have early bird pricing. This is going to is limited. Prices are going to go up to about 400 something. I can't remember what the price was on the website, but we want you guys to take advantage of it. I will post the let me see if I don't know where's my chat. I'm using like 3 different screens, but buildatsea.com. Get your tickets. It's going to be an amazing time. Rebecca was there. Collier was there last year. They both did an amazing job hosting. And our Global Alliance families there. We had so many amazing speakers. Like it was literally an experience. I've attended multiple real estate events, but this one was different. This one was like obviously we're growing our business, but there's always something different when you have faith in it, right? And it was an amazing experience where we personal things that we were all kind of we all have obstacles, right? And we were able to overcome and have conversations with like-minded leaders and what they're going through, and it just opens your horizons. It makes you see like like I can relate with another leader, and this is what they're going through, and these are my problems, and this is where we're stuck in our business, and it's an amazing opportunity. Like you guys are not going to miss out on this opportunity to grow your business, your life, whatever you have going on. This is the event for you. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys. BuildAtSea.com. Get your tickets and take advantage of this early bird special before we announce. We're going to be announcing stuff later today on social media, but we want you guys to make sure that you take action before anyone else. It's Global Alliance family, so we want to make sure you guys get first dibs on everything. So that's it.
You heard it here first. Thank you, Gino. Thank you so much. We're super excited. We know that this is going to be a powerful event that's going to continue impacting you and just really set your year strong. So you got to be there with us. So go to buildatsea.com, get your ticket now. All right. And that's a wrap for us today. Thanks everyone for being with us every Monday here at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or whatever time that is in your time zone. And we'll see you again next week. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.